Welcome to Tech Talk Simplified. I'm Wally Gustafson. I lead innovation and artificial intelligence at Reach USA. Today's topic is, what is stable diffusion, specifically as it relates to text-to-image generation. Before we get started, just want to let you know if you're listening only, there'll be a lot of visuals shown in this presentation. So at some point in time, I'd recommend you jump over to either Spotify or YouTube and watch the video version to capture the entire experience. Okay, so let's get started. What is stable diffusion? By definition, stable diffusion is a mathematical concept that involves spreading something evenly over time. So in the case of image processing, stable diffusion can be used to either add or remove noise from existing images to then allow text prompts to create new images. But this is Tech Talk Simplified. So simply put, stable diffusion is the AI methodology that allows you to say, create an image of golden retriever puppies doing homework in a dimly lit library, and get a result like this with no visual inputs. So this image was created by OpenAI's DALL-E 2. I literally just said, this is what I want you to create, and it returned these results on the very first try. So while the topic is, what is stable diffusion? I really feel like the topic should be, how does stable diffusion create an image out of nothing? And that's actually a really cool process that I hope to explain in a pretty simple and straightforward way. When I first saw text-to-image technology, there was a cynical part of me that thought, they just got a database of about 1 billion images and then have this Photoshop type tool that just kind of cuts and pastes everything together in a really high quality format. But that's not at all how stable diffusion works. Stable diffusion is the process of taking a blank space and adding noise to that blank space until the noise itself forms the desired image. If you're already confused, don't worry. I was confused as well as I understood how this technology works, but we'll get there, I promise. Stable diffusion models are trained on billions of images, and they start with a clear picture, slowly add Gaussian noise to them over time until they're essentially 100% noise. So if you take a look at the images on the screen, you'll see an image of me, and then you'll see subsequent images where Gaussian noise has been added slowly until you can't see me at all anymore. It's important to note that in the stable diffusion process, there's likely hundreds of steps of adding that noise, not like the 5 that I've done that probably wouldn't be appropriate, but made sense for the purposes of this demo. After that, a mathematical formula comes through and tries to determine how much and what noise needs to be removed from the image to deliver the desired result. Still confused? Let's try this. Put a piece of cardboard in front of a glass of wine. The cardboard represents noise used in the stable diffusion process. Now slowly start removing pieces of the cardboard that are not the wine glass until you're able to look at it and say, that looks like a wine glass to me. Now you might be thinking, hold on, that's a piece of cardboard that's shaped like a wine glass. That's not actually an image of a wine glass. You're right. The whole point of this process was to help you visualize how taking away pieces of an image that are not what you're trying to create can help you then create the image that you do want. In stable diffusion, the noise has color. So you're not only trying to remove noise that doesn't build the shape you're trying to create, you're also trying to remove colors of the noise that don't represent the item you're trying to create as well. Think about how digital images are created. They're nothing more than millions of tiny squares called pixels. In all likelihood, your TV or computer monitor is 1,920 pixels wide by 1,080 pixels high. That's more than 2 million pixels to generate the images you see on your screen. Each pixel on its own doesn't mean anything, but even larger segments of pixels don't often represent much. Take a look at the image on the screen. The area inside the blue guide is 600 pixels. But on their own, those pixels don't make a complete image. However, when you add another 109,200 pixels, you see the guy with the receding hairline that's talking to you right now. Think of noise used in stable diffusion's training models as pixels that are left on the screen to form an image. You might be thinking, finally, I'm pretty sure I get it. Stable diffusion creates imaging by starting with nothing but noise, then removing elements of that noise to form an image, right? No, that's how stable diffusion training models work. When you use a text-to-image generator like DALL-E 2, Stability AI, Dream Studio, or Hugging Face, it starts with a completely blank canvas. It then adds noise to the blank canvas to create the image described in the input text. It knows how to create those images using noise from all the model training where it learned how to take away noise to recreate the training model images. So let's summarize. Stable diffusion is the process of taking a blank space and adding noise to the blank space until the noise itself forms the desired image. For the purposes of this discussion, think of noise as pixels, those digital squares used to display images on your computer or television. Stable diffusion models are trained by starting with images, adding noise to the image until it's essentially 100% noise. Then the model learns how to remove all the noise necessary to recreate the original image. And that's it. You're a pseudo-stable diffusion text-to-image expert. Join us next week when we answer the question, what is TensorFlow? Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.